over this game. So I'm concerned on if they can shut him down. I feel like whatever we got, this is a game where there's going to be a lot of action. Radiant going to look to group up, you know, the Visage tearing down buildings, the Chen as well, and for Daya, they don't have a hero that really goes overly well into the late game. Like Bristleback definitely can, but I don't think we're going to get that. We really will have a game where it's just action on action on action.
And even if it does get into the late game, you're going to have a Slark with Silver Edge. You're going to have the Hoodwink being able to land the break. You're going to have stuns as well to be able to lock the Bristleback in position. So even just like a single Fisher, maybe this is the game where you do get the Enchant Totem, not the Enchant Totem, the Aghanim Shard for the Earthshaker as a priority versus something like the Blink Dagger. Because I feel like your life is just going to be so miserable unless you're able to get a lot of these chain stuns off and be able to set up your team to be able to deal with this Bristleback. Because again, if Bristle's dead, nothing stops this push from happening.
Did Moose change his name? Yeah. What? Is it going by Kim now?
No.
Is
Not
it
sure.
Kim for you on the Earthshaker? It does. Looks like we got
it is for me.
a couple of name changes. It is Catyu in game as well here for MJZ. Kataro 2 for Minos. So we got a couple of name changes for the boys. It looks like we also have some G's as well, which is the important thing. Our game should be back underway very, very shortly. How we feel about this though? Is Slark going to reign supreme in a game like this, or do we feel like Tempest have something up their sleeve?
I think PP's Hoodwink is going to reign supreme. I think that's
Okay.
the thing that's going to take over this game. I mean, like I said, the man has been spamming it, and he's been spamming it with pretty good effectiveness. For people that haven't been watching him as much as I have, it's the build that he's probably going to go for is Treads into Maelstrom, into Atos, Gleipnir, Shard, and then some kind of order of combination of Ags, Blink, and E-Blade. So I feel like you don't necessarily need to have the Gleipnir this game, just because you're going to be able to get Carapaced if you end up doing it. You probably can just jump into the Shadow Realm, but it's just additional damage, right? Like, it just provides you a ton of these stats that you're really wanting as a position 2 Hoodwink.
Could you make an argument for him wanting to go the Shard incredibly early this game to be able to get the Bristol, like kill the Bristleback before he's able to find maybe like a defensive item, or before the Bristle gets unkillable?
You think you need it? Again, you're going to have a very early instance of break with a Sharpshooter.
Do you feel like
if a
so? You
Visage
feel like
is
that's
there
enough?
and a Slark, it's going to
Okay.
be enough. Yeah, with a
Sure.
Chen too.
Okay.
And it's not like they have any save on Tempest's side outside of like a Terrorize, you know? And if a Slark's in there, as long as he gets a Dark Pact off, he'll be fine.
Right to see Yuma running on forward, seeing how they can set up. We're trying to secure some of the bounty runes. We will have a bit of a skirmish. Oh, come on. Give me action, dude. What's going on?
So, in order to make things easy for us, we are just going to call the players what they are in-game. You know, even though Infinity, it's Prada, most
What
likely.
am I calling the Chen?
Oh, God.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. I'll keep calling him Prada. Yeah, if you can come up with something, then sure.
I did. Did it not come
Yeah?
through the mic? Like, I
Oh, it was
actually
like
made a
shtickle or
noise.
something.
Yeah, well, that's what it is.
Okay. Sounds like I'm swearing. I'm not doing. I swear, please no.
The one time
let's
an
see.
Australian isn't swearing.
One time, crazy. Yeah. I'll let it drop. Don't you worry. You give me some leeway. I'll drop the swear words. Oh,
Top lane, nice.
Yeah.
Double use the brambles super early on. PP had in the mid lane 7 napalm stacks built up onto him as well, but realizing the fact that you're going to need this magic wand to be able to contest against the Bat Rider. I wouldn't be surprised to see an early-ish point into the Scurry as well. just for that little bit of extra movement speed to be able to kite around the trees a little bit more easily too.
Yeah, I think you'll definitely need kind of the movement speed when you're playing against Sebastian the Batrider. And it's going to be a big concern.
Yuma missed a lot of last hits underneath this bottom tower. I've seen like 4 in a row now that he's unfortunately failed to pick up. Even just the range creep, completely uncontested, doesn't end up getting that one as well. So what should have been pretty much a full wave of gold doesn't go his way. And well, we've said before that this Slark needs to be the one to completely take over this game.
What's Prada got playing with the Chen at the moment? Just a measly old Centaur Corsair. Nothing crazy, but they definitely don't.
Against
this could be
Venno, it's not terrible, right?
Yeah, being able to deal with the Plague Wards, which is going to be really nice, and the Nyx Assassin is very single target, so it doesn't have the greatest way to deal with any summons at all.
Man, look how terrible the jungle is for creeps early on. Like, there's 3 Centaur camps and an Ogre camp, you know? You would love to get, for example, the Mana Burn creep, the Satyr Tormentor, I want to say his name is. Mind Stealer. Just because, you know, you're up against a Venomancer, someone that's almost completely reliant on his mana to be able to get a lot of these last hits. In terms of right-click damage, you're about 10 behind the Slark. TP, mid lane. Did get flame braked, but he's going to back off in time to be able to get away. He's got the full 21 charges available, just ends up using them now.
I wonder how active he's going to look to get on the Hoodwink as well. If he's just going to look to play for his own game or maybe make some of these early rotations.
I feel like you need to make sure that you're prioritizing at least the Maelstrom build-up for yourself. You know, the power treads into either Maelstrom or if they're feeling like they need to kill someone, then the Atos first. Just because that's going to enable the kills to go onto the Bristleback, right? It just depends on the stage of the game that he's able to get it. If it's after the lanes have dissolved very heavily, and you know the Bristleback's back in the jungle, doesn't really feel quite as effective, right? But if he's just still farming in risky spots and you're able to move the whole team there, get an Atos into a kill onto him, and then use the Chen and the Visage to be able to push towers.
Might be in some trouble in the river. They've got Caillou rotating as well, and Sebas with that last sticky napalm change is able to find the first blood over on to Kim, and a beautiful start for the Batrider.
36 magic damage that last napalm did to him, so almost as good as a right click. That's just it was just at level 2 at the time, I think.
Yeah, just a level 2. Just got that 3rd point into it now. See, do you feel like this is... Do they have the capability maybe to leave Draken alone bottom so Slardin can go back and start to make some stacks for the Batrider? Or is this a lane where he's forced to kind of play down bottom?
I think you could start to make a few stacks. I mean, you need to play off the back of the tiers that are actually going to win you this game. And I don't think a Venomancer is going to win you this game. Like, what's a Veno actually stopping here outside of the Visage in the laning stage? And I feel like that period's gone. You know, they just picked... let's call it a better option in the Bristleback, because again, this is one of the big weaknesses of the Visage. You don't have a ton of armor early on. He wisely enough went into the Ring of Protection. Looks like he's finished the Buckler as well, so just playing with that little bit more physical damage reduction, resistance, against a Bristleback that's constantly wanting to be spamming those quills into your face.
Look at this for Kim. Early rotation out of the Earthshaker, so not looking to play up top, which is just... It's going to be a bit of an issue here for the Visage to find his farm, but... Kim is...
I mean, him being top is not going to change anything, though, right? It's just going to leech experience away. I feel like as long as Mariano is able to farm underneath his tower, there's no reason for an Earthshaker to be up here.
Yep, we saw what they're able to do, though, from Tempest just before, pulling the creep wave, so... Continuing to deny multiple waves away. Sebas might be able to close onto Kim. Already used the stun at the moment. PP's going to try and turn it around with a sharpshooter, and the burst early on kills off the Nyx Assassin, but Sebas at least will be able to find a way to rectify his supports there.
Didn't even need to pop the double damage. PP looks like he was checking to see if there was some kind of power rune available on the top side, so maybe some miscommunication coming through from the team. Gotta make sure, like, we've seen how important communication is. A split-second decision can decide a game. Oh, they might have actually caught out here on the Chen. But no, he's able to back up away. Obviously, just the 1 point in the Venomous Gale for now. Of course, you don't want to be spamming the Dark Pact against the Poison Sting. It's very easy to just reapply it. Still doesn't really feel like... I'm still not seeing the true benefit of this Venomancer unless it's going to be
Top lane, they're
around
TPing
that
for
target
Kataro.
shot.
PP with his first rotation with a sharpshooter. They find the break. Kim's got the fissure as well, but the break will soon expire. And they'll have the burst regardless, thanks to the Soul Assumption. That's a big kill, just recognizing the Bristleback has finally overstepped the mark, and Infinity instantly pounced on that opportunity.
That's what's great about the Hoodwink, right? Just the 45-second cooldown ultimate means that you're almost always able to have a huge amount of effectiveness in the early stages. Now picked up the power treads as well from PP. Will he be in a bit of danger here? Just a little bit short on the lasso mana, unfortunately, for Sebas, so he's not going to be able to get that drag back. And ends up popping the double damage. Will they go for this extra dive now that the fish is off cooldown, though? Doesn't look like they're feeling confident enough to be able to.
Kim's done a really good job with his positioning so far this game. Fisher just to disrupt the attempt onto the Hoodwink. We saw him top lane. He's now trying to secure the power rune for PP and take it out of Sebas's hands, who has the double damage rune still for a little bit, but it does look like it's going to go the way of the Bat Rider with the Invis, who's top of the net worth. So off the way, fine start. The Boots of Travel is going to be the first item of choice here for Sebas.
I feel like I'd be more happy if I'm Infinity right now, even though the very early lead is going the way of Tempest. You haven't hit your timings.
Bottom lane, Draken might be in a bit of trouble. Nick's going to try and TP down. Draken doesn't have a point up in the ultimate, but the sidestep, regardless, Slardon TPing down is enough of a deterrent to hold Yuma back. Let's see if they still want to try and make a play here on Infinity.
Oh. They've got that mana burn creep now as well, so making life a little bit more annoying, just making Slardon completely out of mana. I'm sure he's looking to try and get that onto Draken. That's how confident he is. A little bit too confident, perhaps.
Oh, they're playing with a stun still. Had the Impale on Slardon, so he's going to be able to cancel the TP. Now Chen is off the map for quite some time. Meanwhile, mid lane, though, Lasso's out, dragging back PP. He tried to go for an acorn into a bushwhack, but yeah, Firefly instantly gets rid of a tree.
Just those clever little plays. Unnecessary deaths, though, right? Like, you've got a Chen who was working towards hitting the mech timing at a pretty decent time. That death means that the chainmail's delayed a little bit. And up on the top side, Mariano, believe he has that Vladimir's offering completed now. So I want to see if they might look to play a little bit more around that top area. That's where PP's TPing after that recent death. So will they be able to get this pick off onto the Bristleback? Right now, seems like they're just using the familiars for the tower damage as opposed to any kind of scouting potential. That's what Kim's for. You want to make sure that you can catch out someone. They might have just got a glimpse of the Bristleback going back inside of his own jungle, but that should still free them up to say, all right, totally safe to be able to take this tower. Again, no one else other than Bristleback and maybe the Bat Rider is going to stop you from taking towers.
This gives them a big advantage now, though, for Infinity and how they're going to look to play the early game. They'll have a tower advantage. Bottom tower is very healthy for them to be able to defend as well. So they can make a call, either bring multiple heroes down bottom when Tempest go for the push, or they can just consider about sacking the tower and going for the tier 1 mid instead.
So what you certainly don't want is Mariano just getting run down by Kotaro in this top side.
I'm gonna need you to stop rolling your eyes so cleanly. You're making me look incredibly bad.
Well, told you were a very cultured and well-adjusted person, and I meant it.
I'm like, what's going on, Denog? I know you speak a little bit of Espanol, but this is Yuma. Cuts the ultimate off. They're holding their stun from Slardon, so Yuma just can't TP out under the cover of the ulti, and well, he's going to end up going down. So that's a big kill for them to be able to find, and now this opens up the tower.
Opens up the tower for a lineup that doesn't really push it all too effectively. Only if you're able to set up with Draken like this, with all the plague wards surrounding the tower. You'd have to be insane to want to come in onto this one. And, well, eventually, our good mate on the Chen is going to going to get a lot closer towards that mechanism, but he did go the build that a lot of people do. Like, I know it's all the rage right now to be rushing. Sorry, hold up. It might be Kim actually ends up falling down here. See, we need to use the lasso. Might be worth using it, but probably doesn't need it in the end. Yeah, this is the horrible matchup that I was talking about. I really feel like Bassi does so much for a Chen just to be able to jungle once the lane is able to be soloed on someone like Yuma. But without it, it slows down the speed that he's able to farm. Like, I know he's still second highest support in terms of net worth, but he should be higher. That's the strength of this Chen right now.
Ariano is playing with the really early Wraith Pact. So they're looking to start taking some fights here on Infinity. They don't have yeah, no, Boots is for losers like you. You go Boots first. But Mariano, he's a Giga Chad. He needs no boots.
Always the flame coming through. Here we go. This is a pretty big
nice
kill.
way to start. The fissure from afar into the chain control from the familiars, but they don't get the extra afterwards. But the Echo Slam's still not leveled up on Kim. Look how close he is to 6.
Short.
Oh no.
2 XP.
Oh no.
Did they glyph? No, they didn't glyph either. So I was just wondering if maybe they tried a really cheeky play to make sure that the creep wave didn't die, just popping the offensive glyph there.
As well. He finds the Hoodwink all the way to the backline. The Invis able to wrap all the way around. A lasso to drag back, getting another kill. And keep in mind, this is a position 2 Hoodwink as well. So a very valuable kill for them to find. And now the T1 tower as well.
Position 2 Hoodwink. You finally finished up the mech here on old mate Shukt. But again, no level 6.
Getting scouted by Slardon. The ultimate leveled up. They need the terrorize. They're going to be able to find it. Oh, beautiful timing with the Dark Pack, but still goes under the cover of the Shadow Dance. The rest of the team is starting to move over. The Fissure's going to buy him some time, but it doesn't block them off at all. The Sabas once again chases another hero down, and even Kataro as well is considering about running through Kim, but Earthshaker will be back to the safety of the tower.
Actually, haven't had a look at Yuma's item build that he's going for yet. Looks like Orb of Corrosion into the Diffusal Blade, into what seems like a BKB. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I mean, I feel like you're just... It's not really going to stop anything. I guess the Diffusal is pretty important against a Bristleback, right? We saw that in the TI9 Grand Finals.
Gets some distance with the sharpshooter. Beautifully played from the Hoodwink. Closing the distance to the T2 tower. Sabas is diving incredibly deep. They don't have the damage to get the kill into the Hoodwink for the moment. Now Yuma's going to feel like he needs to turn up to this skirmish. And, well, he can get some stacks going. A little bit of essence for himself. 1 perma now for the position 1 slug.
It is Kotaro, though, that's the one that is just using all of this time and space made by the rest of his team to accelerate that farm further and further. More than halfway towards his Aghanim Scepter. He's going to be building up multiple stacks for himself here, and I'm not sure exactly how they're going to be able to deal with this. You already do such a great job of dealing with the Chen creeps, the Visage Birds, and it's just going to become even easier for you with the QW spam. At least PP's now gotten into the Maelstrom, so he's going to be able to have an additional way to be able to shove waves out. And that is one of the advantages, right, of just having that Acorn shot available.
I'm not opposed to taking the occasion.
Going straight into the Gleipnir afterwards. So feels like they really just... I was going to say want to slow down this game a little bit, but like... For what purpose, you know? Like, I feel like a Bristleback is just going to get exceedingly strong relative to what you're going to be able to, or at least the farm that he gets in the meantime is going to be far ahead of anything that you might be hoping to achieve as a Hoodwink and a Slark and a Visage.
Yeah, because I feel like Radiant are just hoping that Tempest overplay their strength a little bit with the Bristleback like too far forward and they can punish him out of position. But if Dire play accordingly, if they make sure they don't get too antsy, don't get too over aggressive, then this is a lineup that I'm really scared could just run over this game. It just seems like at the moment the damage is lacking. Like Radiant need these really long drawn out fights, but Dire also...
Hold on, they Batrider is showing bottom. They just saw him top, so I wonder if that's going to trigger them into some kind of movement forward. Yuma could just clear out this creep wave, and then that'll set them to maybe make a push try to happen towards mid. I do definitely want to see them get a little bit more active. This is one of the first times where an Earthshaker might have the freedom to freely take this team fight. And I also like the fact that, like I was hoping, Kim's going into the Aghanim Shard instead of the Blink Dagger. It feels so difficult for him to get effective usage out of the Blink this game.
It's going to be a while till he gets that shard, though, unfortunately. It's only level 6 still on Kim. Not been able to find any levels at all. Or able to have some impact so far. And just Tempest, look at the control they're getting. The Cat U. Gonna be in trouble for some moment. Gets the distance away. Beautiful disengage. They'll kite out the Sharpshooter. And maybe with some of the ultimates forced out, nothing crazy. Sharpshooter really the biggest one with a low cooldown, but they might consider about poking into the T2 tower now.
They got the QW ready, and they don't have a glyph ready on Infinity's side, so there's really nothing, especially with that Sharpshooter on cooldown, to stop Kotaro from just running at them. Just hit the towers.
As well.
What's the
They see
downside?
Kim. Oh, the Nyx Assassin. The first pick from Tempest, giving them the vision they need to go straight past the T2 tower, catching out the Earthshaker, and this will leave the T2 now vulnerable. They more top lane.
A lot of damage.
Yeah, they're gonna get the tower. Maybe the flame break actually.
But he did TP back a couple of heroes, no, 3 actually, to try and stop a single Chen just making this push happen. That's why you can't leave a Chen unattended for a long period of time. And this is the sort of net worth that I was expecting him to have. You know, far and away at the top of all the supports, and it's on the back of the Bassi ring. Just being able to use that penitence on cooldown, it gives you the exact amount of mana that you need to be able to do that.
Smoke up from Yuma. They're gonna run into Draken for the moment. Slardon's off to the west side, but he's not in a position to protect the Venomancer. But a force off to get... What was that? What? The attack range from the Slark, and now he's gonna jump on forward. To the Nyx Assassin he goes. Vendetta's gonna be up in a couple of seconds. Slardon, again! The long attack range from the Slark secures a double kill. He's stolen a decent amount of essence for the team fight, but meanwhile, down to the south though, PP's in trouble. A lasso already used. They can chase him down afterwards, but the Hand of God sustain is not enough to keep the Hoodwink or the Earthshaker alive. As soon as Katara shows up, Tempest, they will be able to turn the fight back around.
But it is enough space to allow the Chen to take that tier 2 tower up top and even remove the outpost from Tempest's control. So Shook doing his job and doing it just fine. I mean, it's nice if you're there with the mech, but I mean, even just to be able to pick up a few of those kills, get some of those essence shift stacks over the permanent essence shift stacks, excuse me, for Yuma. And again, opening up the map to be able to play around. They don't have amazing Roche potential. Like, anytime you've got a Visage, of course, it is kind of strong, but no real minus armor. Hoodwink, not the strongest in terms of a mid laner to be able to take it. Hoodwink is kind of like that Wind Ranger style, right? You need to be scaling off of kills, and as for right now, PP just isn't doing that. 1, 3, and 3. Maybe it's going to become a lot easier once he picks up this Gleipnir, but it's still... What is that, about 1,500 or so gold away?
Did you feel like PP is just... the Sharpshooter has to be reserved for the Bristleback, or is there someone else they need to consider about blowing up in these fights?
I mean, it's important to take out the Batrider, right? Because he's basically making the Earthshaker unable to be a part of these team fights. So there's that aspect for sure. But, I mean, now with the Bristleback getting closer and closer to just more of his key items, he's going into the Halberd next just to be able to face up against the Slark. And I'm sure he's going to look to go something like that BKB afterwards. And then what do you do? How are you supposed to stop this Bristleback at all? Does feel like with Yuma, you can see he's starting to have the Shadow Blade queued up, but it's like 2 items away, which feels like it might just be a little bit too late. So does
Slardon? We'll be able to see the Jenna for the moment. Draken has pushed a little bit too far forward though. I mean, Ariana with his position. Look at this. Look at the first stun. Trying to find the second though. Won't be able to catch up. I don't think the Sharpshooter is going to be enough as well. But on the other side of the map,
a solo kill. Solo kill, and he popped the BKB towards the end of it there on the Batrider. So still didn't get away. Solo kill, solo experience for Yuma, bringing him all the way up to level 16. Yep.
What a goal.
So that'll definitely help.
773. we... do you feel like Slark is going to be able to take over this game? I don't have enough games to be able to read this hero and where he is positioned at the moment, like if he can carry, but it does look like an incredible Slark game.
You did say before that he would be able to take over this game.
I do think he will, but I'm still hesitant because I have not seen enough Slark games. Like, I don't have a sample size to be like, you know, how is this new Slark good or not? Is the Venomancer Ag Shard going to prove to be an issue? Which is also something I did say, is that the Venomancer could maybe turn the matchup a little bit more differently. I do think, like, if this was prior Slark, that he'll be able to carry this game if he finds his items. But do you feel the same?
I don't think you could do it solo. You need the Hoodwink to really come to the fore, right? Like, if you're not landing that sharpshooter, it's still going to be difficult because it's going to be some time until he gets into that Silver Edge for himself. And this is the period where Bristle's at his strongest. Like, Ag Scepter about to be...
going to try and D-ward, but Tempest are in a position to be able to protect this. A Halbert's going to dissuade the Slark for the moment, but Yuma wants to go charging into the middle. They'll blow up the Nyx Assassin, a 1-for-1, but an early use of the Shadow Dance from Yuma, so we won't have this defensive now. It's going to put him in a position where he might have to pop the beat, get beat to escape. They're doing a really good job to kite Katara for the moment, and meanwhile, PP on the high ground is starting to rack up the damage on the Hoodwink. So Tempest, they will respect the high ground defense coming out from Infinity by their triangle.
He got really greedy there with the usage of the Hand of God and the mech. Just waiting until the very end means that the Nyx is able to get that stun in onto the Chen, and I feel like you are very confident to be able to turn that one around, but are they just going straight away again? They're going into the Roche pit. Someone's going to need to come forward to contest this. Maybe not feeling too confident without the Shadow Dance available, but you've got PP, you've got Acorn Shot, you've got Familiars to be able to scout this out, you've got Chen creeps as well. Is it going to happen? Chen's not there, though. What's the point of buying a mech if you're not there?
The Aegis on Katara. You got the Blink, importantly, as well, now completed on Sabas, so... You can look to go level 15 on the Batrider as well. Extra 20 movement speed. It's go time for Tempest.
You are closing in on a few things on Infinity, though. Obviously, it's not ideal because you're not quite there, but level 15 on the Visage going to come at around the exact same time as he picks up that AC for himself, so that certainly helps matters a lot. PP getting closer towards the Aghanim Shard for himself, so again, just the Boomerang providing a lot of that additional damage to enable some of these pickoffs. Kim, he's got his Aghanim Shard for himself, so able to be a much more consistent presence in these team fights. So it's not all lost for Infinity, but a lot of stuff needs to go right. Let's see if they're going to be able to
blow him up. There's Ag Shard with the help, but oh no, he still doesn't have it. I thought they had a lot more damage than what was really pumped out onto Jarkin as they barely tick an answer.
Yeah, just launching the Sharpshooter a little bit too early, and I think he'd popped the Wraith Pact at the time as well, so ended up taking a whole bunch of less damage, and it's actually going into the Aghanim Scepter on the Venomancer. Don't hate it. I mean, you just always want it to be that constant presence in a lot of these team fights, and I mean, look at the heroes that you've got to play around. A Bristleback and a Batrider that are wanting to go in first, that are wanting to take a lot of that attention away from you, so you get the luxury on this Venomancer to be able to, you know, force stuff in and ulti at the perfect time.
Tempest, they feel strong enough to walk up the high ground.
Yuma can't TP for 10 seconds.
See if they're going to be able to stall this out without him for the moment. Kataro is going to be pushed away from the extra control from Kim. So a little bit of damage, and it will push Infinity back. What, half health almost taken care onto the tier 3 tower. Meanwhile, Yuma is still farming, working towards what looks like the Shadow Blade into the Silver's Edge. Are they strong enough, though, to fight into these Ages?
Yeah, he's gone away from the Orb of Corrosion build. I like that.
Here we go, Katara.
Try and get this quick pick off.
Gonna try and blow up the first life. They will be able to do so. Sharpshooter expanded.
Can do it twice, though.
No, they're happy with that.
I mean, conversely, you might just be saying, well, they don't have the Sharpshooter available, so we feel like we can just go ahead and do anything.
So difficult to enter this.
They walk up. Yeah. Oh, they ended up placing the Observer or just giving their entire position away, and they're going to counter smoke into this, actually. Just, again, playing around those plague wards.
On the front line.
It's not Prada. It's the knockoff brand. The
knockoff
brand.
The Shook brand. I got a little bit worried, honestly. For some reason, I thought Mariana was a dire hero. So I'm like, hang on a second. Chen, you got there's enemy to your right. This is not a good position.
A little bit deep here.
Yeah, no, his chill was just Mariana playing a hand-to-hand. But we got a very even game. Yes, even though Tempest have doubled the kills, the net worth lead, even between the two, just 1,000 advantage. Infinity, they were able to stall off the first Roshan. They were able to secure 2 tier 2 towers, a little bit damage onto the tier 3, but Slark is finding his farm. He went BKB.
He is indeed. Yeah, he's got the Silver Edge, not the Silver Edge, the Shadow Blade now as well to be able to play around. Double bounty rune that he doesn't actually end up picking up there on Yuma. He's just full-on
kills.
Blinkers. Yeah,
Give me kills.
He just wants kills. Venomancer would be the ideal one. Has to make sure that he's not playing around that too heavily. Slark's one of those heroes as well that benefits from slightly higher night vision than a lot of other heroes, so he's going to be able to find these heroes effectively and scout them out, even if they have a Sentry Ward available.
How do either sides want to take this team fight? Because Slark usually thrives on long drawn-out fights. Venomancer kind of does as well. So is there a side that kind of needs to take a fight a little bit differently in this game in particular?
I mean, it feels to me like Infinity are very happy just to wait a little bit, right? Like you've hit some of the timings. You now got the Aghanim Shard on PP. You're closing in on, well, not really closing in on the Silver Edge, but it's coming soon. Only 300-ish gold away from being able to pick up that Blink Dagger as well for Kim. So I know I mentioned before that the Aghanim Shard was far more important, but Blink, of course, still such a viable item. He sold all of his other items except for a smoke and the arcane boots, just so that he can get a little bit closer to that Blink. That's how desperate he is for this. It's just
Hopefully
like,
he's gonna have that
one camp, please.
Come on, give me the gold. Give me something. Yuma. This is a boss with the Lord Deep. I know the Bat Rider's kind of split up from Jarkin. Yuma's trying to find an opening, but it's kind of solo at the moment. Net worth lead is growing. Infinity playing together as 4, where you take a look at the rest of Tempest. Got heroes farming up top. Katara's going to shove that in. Meanwhile, Draken's still continuing to play aggressively mid. Finally, Yuma. Oh no, the fissure though. Not long enough range.
Kim blinked on the spot. He blinked on the spot instead of forward, so he wasn't actually able to close the gap to lock in the Venomancer before he gets away. That's a pretty big blunder there. The one maybe plus side is the fact that it didn't actually reveal the fact that he's got the Blink Dagger just yet, so they immediately go for a smoke. Still playing around the lack of information coming through. And I like this too. They're going the full wraparound, realizing where they're most likely to be set up, but maybe Tempest are realizing this too. Looking to move away from any kind of dangerous points, get closer towards their own, the safety of their own triangle. They use the scan for it, so they're not actually going to accomplish too much of anything up here.
Who are we looking for Sebas to jump as well here for the Bat Rider? Is there one person they just need to instantly take out of the team fight with that lasso?
I'd want to get rid of the Visage, personally. Like, to get rid of the Wraith Pack, to get rid of the Soul Assumption damage coming through. He's got the ability to really slow down the Bristle, too. He doesn't have the BKB just yet, so even something like the Grave Chill feels so important in this game.
Slow this one out a little bit, though. 30 minutes in, haven't had too much action in the past couple of minutes or so. Either side trying to work towards his mid-game items. Be able to get that lead and split this game apart. Mid lane again, they're going to attempt on Draken, but Kim just not finding the angle. So another sharpshooter is going to be expended. 40 seconds. I mean, not the longest cooldown at all, but still, you'll take whatever slight advantage you can get from Tempest. But they do have some issues currently with their lanes.
Aghanim Scepter now as well on Draken, finished up. So that Venomancer, his effectiveness in team fights is enormous. That's Kotaro. I mean, he's closing on his BKB. So that's the only thing that they're waiting for right now on Tempest's side. And, well, 450 gold away from having it available. And they all know exactly when they took Roshan previously. So what sort of timing they need to be looking to play around. It's potentially up in 5 seconds. He's only 100 gold away. I mean, they're wanting to check the Roche pit. Looks like Kozuro wants to put his body on the line first just to clear out some of these wards. I'm sure that they want to just have him be in the way to enable Draken to place down that Plague Ward as he does. So they're going to get the first bit of information about when it's available. It's not immediately. So that's the big benefit. And yeah, all they're doing is waiting around for this this BKB to be delivered, and then it's going to be all systems go.
But it is also systems go for Yuma.
Yeah.
I got this Silver's Edge now, so you can look to use the Sharpshooter onto someone else, or maybe you still consider about just popping the ultimate from PP onto the Bristleback to try and blow him up. You got multiple avenues to look forward to for Infinity through this fight. Yuma's still always trying to find that opening on someone picked off across the map. Been very impressed with Tempest and how disciplined they've been and making sure that no one is left alone.
They're pinging up here, so I think they might see that the Slark has the Silver Edge completed now. Obviously, having the gem means that they're gradually just going to lose more and more space to play around, which, of course, is so important whenever you've got this... whenever you've got the potential of taking these weird... Yeah, Roche is up. They're taking it pretty quickly.
Like, very quickly.
Like, do you give the shard over to Draken? That's what I want to know.
This is just going to be able to scout out, but it's too late. Or maybe Kim's going to be able to steal it. They're in. Yuma gets the Aegis as well. Now with the break as well. The Bristleback needs to retreat down to the right side. They've been able to cut the Slark for the moment. Is unable to lock onto the targets, but towards the high ground, the lasso out onto the Visage. They should be able to move on forward with Kataru's damage as well, but the Bristleback, they've done such an exceptional job from Tempest. Even though they lost the Aegis, they kited Yuma, making sure the Slark wasn't able to lock onto his target. And now they're going to continue to stalk him.
On the bat.
They've got the detection. They know exactly where he is. PP's going to look to rejoin. Yuma will get some distance, pouncing up to the northern side. But Sebas wants to make sure he can't escape. He still goes a bit too far forward. With the respawn as well, they can turn it around as Yuma cleans up another. Katyu goes down. The sole survivor being Kataru on the Bristleback.
Gem on the deck as well, and PP will be the one to pick it up. They got 2 gems now available on Infinity's side, and yeah, like we were thinking, this Slark, it is a pretty damn good Slark game, and all they really needed to do was get that time to go for the Silver Edge. Draken? Looks like he should be fine. PP just doing some solo dewarding right now, and again, like, what sort of areas do you have left to play around on Tempest? You basically only have the quote-unquote safety of your triangle. 1 tier 2 tower left remaining, and they're still going to feel very strong right now on Infinity. Oh, Slark's the one that actually got the Aghanim shard. Still hasn't used it.
It was left... It was left inside the pit. The PP Hoodwink just went to go pick it up. So it wasn't claimed through the skirmish and all the chaos that was going on. Nice read from PP recognizing that. You might still be left inside.
It's actually obnoxious how much auras they've got on Infinity's lineup. They're not all standing next to each other right now. When Chen stands next to the Visage, you'll see it.
Kim, another 4-staff to reposition. Beautifully done. They've kited the Slark towards the backline. Slardon's going to look to create some chaos and find an opening for Kataru just to move forward. And look at the terrorize onto multiple heroes, so Kataru can just go to work. 2 heroes killed off instantly. And the Slark, Yuma's nowhere to be seen. He had to get out. Didn't feel like there was a fight they wanted to stick around and take.
Does really feel like he just wants to play around for that level 25. Even the Skadi, you know, is so important for them to be able to consistently press on forward, to be able to fight up into this Bat Rider, the Bristleback, keep them in place for that little bit longer so that you truly get the higher effectiveness out of these things like the Familiars. That they did get a little bit of a buff to the attack range, but it's still not quite enough to consistently be able to layer out the damage unless someone's more stationary.
Man, they're walking up high ground.
Why not?
Sharpshooter. They got the Echo Slam as well already. Oh, but look at the bounce back and forth. 4-staffs everywhere. Oh, somehow Dark Willow gets killed off.
In the Shadow Realm.
Dark Willow die.
Yami Yugi sent him to the Shadow Realm, bro.
Yami
It's an anime reference.
Oh yeah, no, I'm well aware. I didn't even have to know what it is. Yama Yugi sounds like a weed
Yami.
unite.
Yami means dark in in Japanese, by the way.
What was the other word? Yugi?
It's the guy's name.
Oh. You want to give me a
King of Games.
give me a
If you ever get a chance
No,
to
no,
cast another entity game, Stormer's profile picture. That's Yami
Okay.
Yugi.
Okay. You want to give me a AAR?
No.
Oh, right. So
I am
you
a
can
cultured weeb.
cultured weeb. Right. So you can request for me to say things and
Did you do it?
all I'm saying is you requested.
No. You didn't do anything. That's the downside.
Yuma's got 25, so he's got the Essence Shift, extra duration, Scardy as well, which is an incredibly big item, and I like what he's going in next. This Nullifier just going to completely take the 4 staffs out of effect, which has really been the big item, which has felt like for Tempest in a lot of these occasions. Yes, they are down a very slight net worth, but we've seen kind of the play from Infinity. It's like 4-star into Sharpshooter, into Bushwhack, just a poke from afar, but the 4 staffs are repositioning it and making it too difficult. So this Nullifier will kind of counter that, and also, I suppose, counter the Disrupt to the Pounce.
It will, but also I feel like they need to change the way that they take some of these team fights, because the 4 staffs are being used onto like Gleep near Bushwhack combos, right?
Oh, they're
Slack's
in.
not the one going first.
With the wood, look at the target. Sabas is able to find the Hoodwink. PP priority number 1, and they should be able to get him. The damage is racking up thick and fast, but Yuma, he's in the middle of it all as well. But a BKB is getting completely kited. The Ghost Scepter from Draken means that they can reposition. They get the kill, and they get out.
Good composure coming through from PP though, realizing that he didn't need to buy back just yet. You still got a lot of spells at your disposal, so they had to commit so heavily just to be able to take out one, even though it really felt like Tempest had the ability to snowball back over them. Not going to try and find someone out on their own. Slark might be the one.
They're gonna run into... What?
I don't think he sees. Wait, he might have seen. It's nighttime Slark, so he might have actually seen the... Oh, they're still smoked, yeah.
Yeah, that's
You're right.
Why does this guy just stand still at that timing? Like one step forward and smoke probably pops there. The fact that he's gonna read that all of a sudden, the intuition kicks in. He's like, I'm standing still. I can't move forward. I can't move an inch. They're coming for him though. You hope the ward will see Sabas. Kim's nearby in case something breaks out, but they do not know that all of Tempest are on top. Oh, they're going to be caught, but look at the damage of the Echo! Kim on top of the Kree wave. They just cancel out the life of the Barrow Rider. And now with the advantage in the numbers, they can look for more. Yuma, he's pursuing on forward. Katara's a little bit split from the team, but it looks like instead, another really nice disengage from Tempest. Katara is out. They will still catch up to Mariano, though.
The longer this game goes, though, the stronger Slark will be. He's got just the 10 permanent agility for now, but you were saying it before, that Nullifier is going to be such a key thing. And, you know, Bat Rider starts to fall off until you get that refresher. He's still a fair ways away from it. Bristle, you're not quite level 25, so he is going to have this one remaining power spike, but beyond the items that he's got, there's really nothing that he's going to be able to have that's additionally pushing him forward.
You just 3-hit a Dark Willow, so very cool, very cool.
I love that the Korean voice line's still in the game, by the way. It was like TI4 that there was last a Korean TI cast. Maybe it was 5, but I feel like it was 4.
Oh. Did you say Scepter... So was a... I'll hold that thought. Mid lane? Katara's going to be in a bit of trouble. Where's the 4 staffs? Where's anything to bounce him away?
There they are.
And there they are. A double 4s. Whee! Back to base we go. You were mentioning
Something
before...
about Scepter?
Yeah, what was PP going in his build again on Hoodwink in pubs? Was Scepter even after the change something he was going?
No, it's game dependent, so he either goes Scepter or Blink or E-Blade is the order. Don't really see the BKB coming through from him, but it's very understandable, you know, against this Nyx Assassin, of course, I feel like he's getting stunned way too often with the Spike Carapace just through the Gleipnir magic
At
bounces.
you. Smoke's gonna pop the Dark Willow. Looking to try and get some vision down, but they'll turn it back around as again Sebas fights the Hoodwink. They're gonna have to poison over as well throughout the team fight. They want to try and get PP out of the equation, but Yuma is trying to lock onto his target. A 4-star from Draken, but he doesn't get enough distance away. A 1-for-1, but it looks like Tempest, they're on the retreat. They don't want to stick around to take the skirmish. As meanwhile slaughtered by the outpost, he'll finally be caught up, I believe. Gonna get the damage. They've got the vision. And yeah, they'll get the damage afterwards.
Just more and more inching in the Infinity favor. This Slark is balling out of control, and my man, he's even going to look to get stronger and stronger with all the extra talents that he's getting now from 27 minutes onwards. Just get the additional level 10 talent as well, closing in on that nullifier. And they could just look to play around Roshan. They've now taken away the last remaining tier 2 tower. They're playing on the Radiant side. They've got outpost control. They've got even just a single Warpine Raider standing inside the Roche pit. It's being pinged out a little bit by Katyu there, but unless you've got the abilities to actually move forward with confidence, you're not going to be able to freely walk up to this Roche pit, and that's where Infinity have complete understanding. Even just this super deep Observer Ward is going to give them a lot of value. They do have a gem on the Batrider, so they'll see the fact that there's a ward here. 1, 2, they end up getting rid of it. So ping's coming out, maybe assuming that there is some kind of smoke happening because they don't see the Batrider.
Almost identical spot to the last fight. Yuma's going to be in. Batrider's trying to find an opening to the left side. Sebas isn't able to do so though. Oh no, but the Abyssal Blade instantly purged off. Yuma, great timing there with the Dark Pack. Now they got the Fisher from afar as well. Sebas is in trouble, but Kim jumps in, doesn't find the Echo Slam though. The reactions out of the BKB was perfect. Meanwhile, he's got to be cautious though. PP, the spam from afar, they might be able to get the Batrider kill. Boomerang's going to be enough damage for the moment. Now Yuma's still in the middle of it all. He's starting to get a lot of essence stolen. They need to respect the Slark in a long drawn-out fight, and it looks like finally, Tempest, they will back up.
This is another Korean baseline that PP's just putting forward, and he's right. Roshan is the next big objective for them to be able to claim. I mean, why not give it over to the Slark, just to give that extra pounce range, to be able to truly close in onto the backline?
Yeah, I mean, it's an item that I see a lot of Slarks pick up, even, core in regards to like third item sometimes. So it was something I was going to mention earlier that I was a little bit surprised that Yuma has a different read of the Slark. So the fact that he's got multiple pounces to play with, it's going to be that much easier to lock onto his targets. Really sharpshooter. What's going on?
Yeah, it's the Ags on the Hoodwink.
Oh. I'm so confused.
See, even you got bamboozled by the decoy, bro. That's how good it is.
Yeah, it looked like it was PP.
It looked like it was real, bro. I don't know.
Are you mocking me? What's going on?
I mean, you did just get confused by the literal spell called decoy.
Uh-oh, nullifies out. What's the probability? Oh, gee, wait, what? That can't be right.
No. I mean, there was this bug earlier today. Yeah, okay. Plus is bugs.
Okay, mid lane. Or staff. It's gonna be able to sidestep the sharpshooter. Dude, I looked at I'm like, hang on. How there is 0% probability like 15 minutes in? What's going on?
No chance. Maybe
again.
Gaben knows something we don't.
Oh, maybe.
Uh-oh. Kutaro, you can't be out here on your own. Qualifier. More stuffs won't save him.
It's just, even just feasting over essence, even if they don't get the kill, they're just getting more stacks for Yuma for a fight that will soon break out.
He did go the longer duration onto it. They want to try and get the Batrider while he can, but he's going to TP on away. Silent as the grave coming through from Mariano. Not silent enough. Batrider could sense that he was coming through for him, and ends up getting back to safety. But again, this is just Infinity looking to expand their net worth lead little by little. They've got no vision on the map right now on Tempest. They're fighting into an Aegis. They're fighting into double outpost control coming through. Look, the one ward that they're able to place is just in this Tinker Ward spot next to Slide in here. Yeah, I actually don't hate this build by Kataro as well. He needs this Blink Dagger. He needs a way to get in onto the back lines and actually find the key targets. Like, he wants to find the Visage. He wants to find the Earthshaker, the Chen, take them out, because the amount of AoE that Chen is providing is kind of nutty at this stage.
Pipe, Locket, Mech. 1,700 gold in the bank as well for Prada. We could be able to go for another utility item to be able to buff up these 5-on-5s.
Top side, I'm not sure if that's going to be enough to kill the full creep wave there. And yeah, Sebas just trying to get it a little bit lower so that it's easier to push on forward. But maybe with the last couple of seconds of this, second use of the flame break, again, it's not enough to fully stop this push from coming forward. And
oh, no, Sebas!
They found him. They
oh,
have.
No, that was the worst timing to TP out. Mariano is going to use the resummon, and Jimmy gives him a tip. There's a second one from Prada. But bottom lane, they're going to be eyeing up the Brissaback as well, trying to force some reactions. Kim! Oh my lord! He's going to be killed off in multiple hits, but the Echo Slam, well, it puts in work to at least cancel out one of the support's life. Fortunately for Yuma's not playing with any mana though. The Slark is someone that does rely on this spell casting, but it's going to be okay for the moment.
I still really want to see Veno get the Aghanim Shard, just to see if it does what I think it does. You know, I'm pretty sure it's just that little bit of extra damage, but when you're thinking that, you know, you're able to survive on a little bit of HP because you've got the potential of... Sorry. They push in. I mean, look at this army, man. This is a Chen with the Aghanim Shard himself, speaking of that. So he's got the Granite Golem, he's got the Thunderhide. I'm sure he's going to look to give the Frenzy over to Slark if he can.
They gave him the cheese, so he's got mana to work with, and Draken's gone. The Nullifier, making sure they could completely negate the Force Staffs to help get the Venomancer out of harm's way. Guitaro is being a goddamn beast. Oh, decent stun from Slardon as well, but do you see the difficulty with dealing with the Bristleback?
I don't think they care. 20 seconds left on the Aegis. They get a melee Rax. They get something out of that most recent Roshan pickoff, and yeah, all they need to do is back off. They used a lot of their big cooldowns. They used the resummon previously. Sharpshooter was about to come up, but without the Earthshaker, it feels a lot more awkward to be able to take that team fight.
Yeah, you're right.
Finally, a little bit of a breather.
We got 46 kills.
The game has gone on for long enough.
Sounds like, all right, I need a quick little PP break.
Oh my god.
What?
All right, you're allowed one pun, and that was it.
Oh, that was a pretty good pun, actually. Holy. I'll pat myself on the back for that. Jesus Christ.
For those that aren't aware, the PP nickname is based off of his real name. One of the best names I think I've heard in a long time. Jean-Pierre Arroyo, coming through from Infinity.
Say that again.
I made sure to roll my R's. I know.
You felt good about that as well. I could tell. It kind of just came off the tongue pretty clean.
You
Go
know,
on, do
some
it
of
again,
us
one more time.
are polyglots.
What?
Arroyo.
Oh my god.
A polyglot is someone that can understand multiple languages.
A polyglot. Alright, interesting. Well, one day I'll be able to roll my R's.
One day.
Just a white boy trying to learn Spanish. Can't roll his R's. Hate to see it.
This is all like... Last time I actually studied Spanish was like... I think I was in grade 5 or something like that. It's just stuck with me, I guess. French and
Maybe
Spanish have a lot of crossovers, and I know a bit more French.
When did you learn French? You learned in school as well?
Yeah, I lived in Canada when I was younger, so you get the slightly advanced level of French because there's whole French Canada.
Is it mainly Quebec where there's, or is it even in?
It's all Quebec, but like I was in Toronto, in Ontario, which is next to Quebec. So like just in case, they make you take slightly advanced, but not like fluent French, you know?
Wow. So
So
you're,
it's not
you're
like
not
it's not
a...
like you're in English cast, but it's French. But it's like maybe 1 or 2 levels above what you should be at that age, I guess.
Sure. So, so you're not pea-brain Danog. You do know some things.
Sorry, I'm just no. I'm laughing at the chat, not you.
Oh, okay. I thought I was kind of funny for a second. I thought I got you.
No. Never think that.
What are you laughing at? What's funny?
Just some of the stuff that they're saying.
What are they saying? I have not seen anything.
I mean, I'm not going to repeat it because some of it's bad words. I just know that it's bad words.
What Kim said?
Let me see who said it. No, Katu.
What, the single word?
Yes.
Okay. I was gonna say it, but I'm like, I probably shouldn't if it's something that shouldn't be said. So,
I mean, it's not a horrendous word, but it's still, you know, this is a PG stream.
so if I said shit, that would not be okay, right?
All right. You're out of control. All right, what's the way back into this for Tempest? Because they are backs against the wall. They're already 1 lane of racks down. Does he have the blink dagger queued up on the bristle? I mean, he had it queued up with the overwhelming blink, but he's got nothing now unless he's just bought it or something? I'm not sure. You need a way to get on the backlines. You need to take the Shaker and the Chen out of these fights. Even the Hoodwink if you can get there. Doesn't look like he's got either, though. I mean, what's the point in having all of this net worth on the only core that's really contesting with the Slark and even the Visage if you're not using it? You don't need 6,000. You don't need 2.7k surplus net worth. It's very deceiving amount of net worth that this Bristleback has because, I mean, essentially he's got about as much as the Hoodwink does.
I'm trying to think of how they can take these fights. Sebas is about to have a refresher, so
That'll help.
it's either going to be a double lasso inside the fountain, or it's going to be you lasso one hero, get the kill, and then lasso like another support, and then have a numbers advantage. I think there's multiple ways you can look at it for Tempest, but it's going to come down to what do we got?
No, he's going the Ag's Blessing on the Bristle, just feeling like he doesn't have the item slots maybe to free up. I was thinking maybe he would drop, I don't know, the boots, I guess, but unless he went Swift Blink, that feels kind of awkward. What's the neutral item situation look like for Tempest? Anything that gives movement speed? Not really. So it does make things a little bit difficult. I mean, Flicker's there and...
But do you want Flicker? Yeah.
No, not really. And Bat needs the ninja gear.
See what Tempest can do with this smoke. Their lanes are in a decent position to try and make something happen. They've got a ward to play with.
What's Satanic next on Kotaro? I don't think that's the... Yeah, he's switching back and forth between the quick buy. You need the Blink Dagger. Plain and simple. He'll have that and enough for buyback. So I think it'll be A-okay. Full on
Smoke's not
smoke
gonna get
coming
them
through here.
It's going to be Radiant that are moving down bottom. So I'm going to clear out the map. Start them inside the base. It is slowed at the moment that's outside. Smoke's going to pop a Marianas. They do know someone's nearby. Great ones with the blink. So it is going to be both sides with the smoke that they don't get anything out of it. But unfortunately for Tempest, they will lose the ward on the high ground. So this will make it difficult now for them to move outside the base and take a fight. Because when you're this far behind, if you're fighting without vision, you are going to lose the fight. You need to take a fight with a ward. So now it's top. You see Slardar moves out, place the ward by the cliff. But if that gets de-warded, you're going to have a lot of difficulty with team fighting now.
It feels to me like they're just trying to create some space. Like, they know that Roshan's not going to be up for the next, like, 30 seconds or so. They want to get that right at a level 25, because maybe then, you know, the additional little bit of damage that you get is going to be enough to burst down one of these heroes before the auras and the heals and everything else that they've got on Infinity is enough to keep them alive. So that's what Sebas will do. Go on his own.
What are you expecting the 25 to be? The sticky napalm or the flame break provides? 2 stacks.
I would do the Flame Break applies Napalm stacks just because if people are clumped up, it'll be effective against multiple heroes, and just for things like the slow, the turn rate, feels kind of nice. Even just hitting onto, Chen creeps as well.
Slaughter mid lane. Oh my
Jeez, he melted.
god. Extra familiar to work with. And now Yuma as well. He gets the pounce. It's on the mark onto the Dark Willow inside the invulnerability, but as soon as it expires, a good old crit for good measure. That's 2 heroes taken out. They don't have the longest dense 50 seconds with buybacks as well. You do see Tempest, at least Sabas in particular, is trying to shove out bottom and top's in a good position as well. Okay.
You surely don't take a fight now, though. You gotta wait for your supports to be alive. Maybe you could throw Kotaro out there, considering I believe they briefly saw Mariano up on the top side of the map. He's really the only one with any kind of survivability right now on our Bristle Boy.
We
But
do
yeah,
see...
even the Satanic doesn't feel great, right? Like, you don't want a man fight into this Slark. What are you gonna do,
Yeah, I'm trying to see if the Dispel is going to be nice versus anything, but really nothing at all. They might be able to catch up Sabas, but force that back inside the base, and Sharpshooter's way off the mark as well. We are still seeing the difficulties with their Infinity being able to push the high ground. Like, Slark is not the greatest high ground sieger unless you previously win a fight and have a bunch of Essence stolen. You're going into the potential lasso, double lasso even, with Venomancers set up, and you're into Dark Willows, really scary, Nyx Assassin as well. It's not going to be easy at all. They need to pick off. They probably even need Roshan as well, and even then, they will probably go higher ground with Roche, but I feel like they will be very cautious about still doing it.
I'm very disappointed in they had the answer to their high ground push. It was the Ice Troll Shaman, I think it's called. And, if you're able to... Ancient Ice Shaman, the Ice Fire Bomb, that was the thing that they needed to be able to go into the high ground. But he just kills it. He's like, all right, just want a little bit more net worth, boys.
Double damage.
Well, they should know. Like, this was one of the longest possible Roshan respawns, so I wonder if they're going to go for this all-in play on Tempest's side.
Sabas.
They could luck out here.
They're going to see him. Oh,
DD. Oh, they know Roche is up. Do the safe play. Who even gets this next item?
They're coming
You're
out.
gonna get an
Look at Kim's positioning. Oh my lord, Roche is gone.
Yep.
What happened to Roche?
There's a lot on the
Sabas is
ground
in,
as
but he
well.
doesn't get the opening. Finally, the last one's going to be there. Drags him closer to Kataro. They'll kill off the Earthshake with a Hand of God, being a little bit too late to protect him for the moment. They're doing a good job to kite Yuma. Nullified too late, so Kataro's out under the cover of the BKB. There's a buyback
Refresher.
expended out of Draken.
I mean, everything except the Aegis is still in the pit, so that's what PP's sprinting back to try and pick up. Just take it, bro. Take it. Yes. Shen with an axe. Yes. He gets to sacrifice the creeps. I haven't seen this yet.
No way he did it. No chance. What a madman.
I mean, the only other person you could have given it to was the Shaker. So.
Oh yeah, true. True. Oh, we got the martyrdom now? Oh my god, the sacrifice? So what is...
Wait until he gets to level 25. Then you get that Hand of God strong dispel, so you're even going to be able to stop like lassos with your single target Hand of God.
So that's what I was looking at earlier, and then I saw it was 25, and I wasn't going to bring it up till later on, but...
Because when's the champ getting to 25?
Yeah, like... We're 56 minutes in, oh my lord. Like, do you just put him down at the triangle, get him farming some Ancients? I mean, that is...
You don't
really,
even need to do it on Ancients though, right? It's just anything.
Yeah,
Anything
I
has
just
Hand
mean
of
in
God.
regards to experience, like just so you can... Oh,
Yeah,
bottom lane,
I guess.
Kataro? See if they're going to be able to... Bristleback's not an easy kill at all, but look at the damage from the Mariano and the break. All right, never mind. Maybe it is easy. It's a slog. Jumps forward, full distance, but still, his fear for the
damage.
moment. The damage is racking up, and they get the first life. What can they play with?
The lasso? Refresh?
Lasso ready. Katara's in. Abyssal Blade out. They're going to have to take
Oh,
control
they
of
might
the
have done
damage. That's the thing in question. They might be able to do it. The slog.
Got him!
They get the damage. No way. Tempest. They kill off the Aegis. They're looking for more.
Echo.
Kim. He's in
The
with
double.
the Echo Slam. Look at the damage. It's overwhelming, but it might not be enough as Kitaro is still charging on full. Will get some distance. Back to the base they go. No way. Tempest, they live to see another day.
And you get a buyback out of the Slark. Suddenly, you've got a win condition for yourselves. He's going to go straight back in. Don't go in without your Earthshaker, though. He did a huge amount of work to salvage anything out of that fight, but 5 buybacks used in a single team fight. Might have been more, actually. Might have been 6. It just went on for that long, and well, with the Slark, he's so close to hitting up onto that level 30. Wasn't even able to use any of his spells, so the Shadow Dance duration couldn't even become a factor.
Lasso up in 12. That's what.
Buyback. Yeah. If they can find that key pickoff, seems like they want to back up a little bit. Maybe not though. Might just let the creeps do the work. They didn't even get the tier 3. Makes life so much more difficult for the supports in particular. I can't tell you the amount of times that I've been sieging high ground and, you know, a tower's on like 2 hits and I'm like, Cause, please hit it so I can actually do things in this fight.
They're going to be in. Sebas, there's the lasso, dragging back the Visage into the Terrorize as well. A quick and easy kill, but Yuma's going to pounce in the middle. They haven't even gotten the Visage just yet. Finally able to bring him down, but off to the right side. The Slark, this could be a dieback. Yuma under the cover of the ultimate for the moment. He's going to get some health back, a pounce out to safety, but while they're trying to deal with the Slark, Mariano, he TP back in, the buyback out, and this Visage, 8-3 and 13, has had a silent game, but an incredible game out of the position 3.
Now how do you stop this? Oh, they do have the refresher available actually on the Batrider. Let's see who they're going to be able to catch. 1 person left in this game with buyback, and that's the Hoodwink. Slowly making it tip in their favor on Infinity. Let's see if Dota Plus still thinks it's 100% for Tempest, though. Looks like they do. But really, it is anyone's game. Like, buybacks are the most important resource at this stage of the game. And, well, like I was saying before, only 1 person has them. So a single bad movement could mean the enemy just running it down your mid lane and looking to seriously punish.
And it's all on Sebas to get that jump. Because again, they don't have an answer to the lasso. So he needs the opening. It does seem like lasso is almost a guaranteed kill.
They're just letting the creeps do the work, though, it seems. Familiars instantly wiped out, though.
Hey. Oh, Yuma?
Yuma's gone in.
Cancer away.
They have the double lasso available again, and it's 60 minutes! All right.
Oh my god. I don't know how.
What do we got?
A Machina.
Okay, all right. Let's wrap it up. Game's over.
We're wrapping it up. All right.
I mean, he's even got an Aeon disc, man.
On Slog. Oh well, he does.
Yeah. So, like, I really don't see a way for this Slark to die now. Maybe if they have Nullifier on Tempest. That's it.
Dude, give me giant string on
You're not going to be able to leave the base very easily to be able to get any of these neutrals. They're going to try because they know how valuable it is. Bristle's still holding on to a Paladin sword, for God's sake.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I feel like it's up to Batrider just to get out. He's got boots of travel to be able to rejoin.
He's on lane duty, though.
That's a good point. So, yeah.
Someone's
Someone's got to get out.
the last tier 4 item on Tempest. That's how isolated from their jungle they've been. Apex is pretty nice, too. Not really anyone that you want to give it to. Oh, Fallen Sky. I mean, did you need anything more?
The Kim, you reckon? He's 25.
You could.
What? How's he 25? Where's Chen? Oh, come on.
Come on.
I'm getting better.
We believe in you. I mean, they've even got the Book of the Dead. A lot of the time, people think this is a useless tier 5 item, but again, it's safe push, right? It means that you have to stay back and deal with it. You can't look to make aggressive plays, but to be fair, it feels like where Tempest have been most successful is when they've been pushing a little bit too deep inside the base. You get the pull back underneath the tier 4 towers from Sebas. Still about 3 minutes left on that. A lot of those buybacks coming through. Roshan potential to spawn in 40 seconds. So is this the time that they're looking to play around, perhaps on Tempest? Do you play conservatively and let them get another Roche on top of everything that they already have, or do you go for the all-or-nothing play?
I feel like their eyes have to be on lives. I really think they need to make a play around it. I don't know if you... I'm trying to see how many smokes they've got. One on Slardon at the moment. Maybe if they have a second one coming up shortly, like you smoke someone into the jungle. I don't think you can take a fight without
anyone
it.
solo. He can kill anyone solo. Boomerang, E-Blade, Fallen Sky, Ultimate. Like, it's a lot. So how do you leave the base? That's why he's positioning himself so aggressively.
But then it's like you're not playing to win in a way. You're just playing reactionary.
And to not lose.
Yes, exactly. And you can't do something in a game like
Even
this.
the Chen would be nice.
Gonna see him at the moment. Sebastian's in. Kim's in a position to maybe counter-initiate, but the BKB is gonna hold them back. They haven't blown him up just yet. Double lasso off to the left side, but the damage is lacking. Where are Dire? They're not in at the moment. Katara's gonna make the attempt. Finally, they'll get rid of the Chen. An instant buyback to rejoin, but Yuma, he's had a complete free fight on the Stark, and meanwhile to the left side, Sebastian's caught out. The lassos, they weren't good enough, and that'll cost him this game one. Buybacks are lacking. Heroes are soon to be killed off as well with the remaining members as Katyu chase down. He'll be able to dodge out, but he doesn't miss on the Fallen Sky. His PP, well, he'll find the finishing blow. 3 members without a buyback. This should be the end.
Oh, look at those towers cease to exist. There we go. That'll be Mega Creeps. 5v2. Yeah, very, very easy to close out a game when you've got tier 5 items and the enemy does not. What a great performance coming through. Even going for some of the style points at the very end, but just ends up feeding a kill over does Old Mate Earthshaker. What a great slot game coming through.